This is the nucleus, a spherical membrane-bound organelle found in eukaryotic cells. The nucleus is the control center of the cell as it controls the cell's activities such as growth, photosynthesis, and respiration. The nucleus stores all of the cell's DNA. It is responsible for DNA replication, DNA transcription, and RNA processing. This is the nucleolus, a small spherical organelle found inside of the nucleus. It is the nucleolus's role to produce and assemble the cell's ribosomes. The nucleolus is separate from the nucleus because of its specialized function. It does not contain any chromosomes and is able to transport constructed ribosomes and ribosomal RNA out of the nucleus and into the cell's cytoplasm. Nucleoli are found in almost every eukaryotic cell. This organelle is known as a ribosome. Ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. They are responsible for protein synthesis, the process in which a cell makes proteins. There are two stages of protein synthesis: transcription and translation. Translation occurs in the ribosome. Translation is a process where ribosomes use instructions from mRNA to construct a protein by connecting the corresponding amino acids together. Ribosomes are found in every cell as they are essential for life. This organelle is known as the rough endoplasmic reticulum, or RER. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membranes found in a cell. The rough endoplasmic reticulum gets its rough appearance from the ribosomes studded on it. Its function is to create, modify, quality check, and transport proteins. The ribosomes started on the RER are where the proteins are created. Then, the RER folds them and modifies them, with modifications such as glycosylation, which is the addition of sugar groups. Then, the RER does a quality check on the proteins to make sure they've been folded properly and assembled. If a protein is not up to standard, it is retained and degraded. After this, it sends the proteins on their way to the Golgi apparatus. The rough endoplasmic reticulum can be found in both plant and animal cells. This is the Golgi apparatus. It functions as a factory that further processes proteins received from the endoplasmic reticulum and sorts them to be transported to their final destinations, e.g., the plasma membrane, the vacuole, the cell wall, etc. The Golgi apparatus is made up of a stack of flattened cisternae and associated vesicles, and is found in all eukaryotic cells. This is the vacuole. The vacuole is a sac-shaped, membrane-bound organelle found in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. The vacuole is responsible for storing various substances, mostly water, but it can also store sugar and nutrients. It can also store waste products and act as a container to protect the cell from potentially harmful materials. The vacuole also maintains what is known as turgor pressure, which is the pressure of the contents of the cell against the cell wall. Turgor pressure maintains the structure of the plant and its rigidity. This organelle is known as the chloroplast. It is a green bean-shaped organelle only found in plant cells. The chloroplast is where photosynthesis occurs. Photosynthesis is the process of turning water and carbon dioxide into glucose and oxygen. Photosynthesis is how a plant gets its energy. Because plants cannot move around to get food, they must absorb it from their surroundings. The chloroplast is only found in plant cells. This is the mitochondria, an organelle known as the powerhouse of a cell. Mitochondria are found in almost every eukaryotic cell, and their role is to turn food sources into usable energy, ATP, for the cell. They do this with a process called oxidative phosphorylation, which utilizes the energy released during the oxidation of food consumed by the organism. ATP is the primary source of energy for the cell and is used in many tasks. In a plant cell, the mitochondria turns the glucose produced from the photosynthesis into ATP. This is the cytoplasm, the gelatinous liquid that fills the cell. The role of the cytoplasm in the cell is to hold all of the organelles and protect them from damage. It also maintains the cell's shape and is responsible for transporting materials around the cell, such as genetic material, metabolites, and nutrients. The cytoplasm moves materials through cytoplasmic streaming, where it moves around inside the cell to transport materials. Cytoplasm is found in all cells, both eukaryotic and prokaryotic. This is a cell membrane, an organelle that encloses a cell and bounds its organelles. The membrane is directly inside of the cell wall. The cell membrane is made up of a semi-permeable wall, which means only some materials can pass through. The function of the cell membrane is to regulate what materials can come in and out of the cell. For example, gases, hydrophobic molecules, and small polar uncharged molecules can all pass through the cell membrane, but larger polar molecules and charged molecules cannot. Cell membranes are essential and found in all cells. This is the cell wall. The cell wall is not an organelle, but an elaborate extracellular matrix that encloses the cell. It has many roles, such as providing tensile strength and protection for the cell. The cell wall also develops and maintains turgor pressure for the cell, which maintains the plant's structure and rigidity. The cell wall provides protection for the cell from variations in temperature, high winds, and other damage. The cell wall is found in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, but animal cells do not have cell walls. What was achieved well in the cell was the nucleolus. The nucleolus achieved its spherical and small shape and sat correctly inside of the nucleus. The vacuole was also constructed correctly as it maintained its sac shape and the color was correct and it resembled an actual vacuole. What could have been improved was the rough endoplasmic reticulum. It seemed kind of flat, and in an actual cell, it stands up more like a wall. This could be improved by not using fondant for the rough endoplasmic reticulum and instead using cell straps. Overall, the cell was a good model and it achieved the resemblance of an actual plant cell. This organelle is known as the rough endoplasmic reticulum, or RER. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membranes found in a cell. The rough endoplasmic reticulum gets its rough appearance from the ribosomes studded on it. Its function is to create, modify, quality check, and transport proteins. The ribosome started on the RER, where the proteins are created. Then, the RER folds them and modifies them, with modifications such as glycosylation, which is the addition of sugar groups. Then, the RER does a quality check on the proteins to make sure they've been folded properly and assembled. If a protein is not up to standard, it is retained and degraded. After this, it sends the proteins on their way to the Golgi apparatus. The rough endoplasmic reticulum can be found in both plant and animal cells. This is the nucleolus, a small spherical organelle found inside of the nucleus. This is the nucleolus, a small spherical organelle found inside of the nucleus. It is the nucleolus. It is the nucleolus's role to produce and assemble the cell's ribosomes. The nucleus is separate from the nucleus. Nope. Okay.